I overheard my fiancée saying, "He's just a stepping stone, I'll leave him once the wedding is paid for." Her friends laughed. I played along, then left her at the altar. This morning, her sister texted me, "She's losing it, please answer." I never thought I'd be posting here, but I need to get this off my chest. The wedding is in 2 months, and everything I thought I knew just went up in flames last Saturday. Some background: I'm Daniel, 31M, and my fiancée is Kelsey, 28F. We've been together for 3 years, engaged for 1. I run my own food truck business that I built from scratch. It's not glamorous, but it's successful enough that I could afford to give Kelsey the big wedding she always wanted, about $75,000 all in. Yeah, I know, that's crazy money, but I've been saving for years, and she was worth it. Last Saturday, we had a barbecue at our place, nothing fancy, just some friends hanging out in the backyard. I was manning the grill when I ran inside to grab more beer from the garage fridge. That's when I heard them through the kitchen window. Kelsey and her 2 best friends, Paisley and Isabella, were sitting at the patio table right below. "God, I can't wait to be done with all this," Kelsey was saying. "The food truck thing was cute at first, but imagine telling people your husband runs a roach coach for a living." They all laughed. My hands froze on the fridge door. "At least he's paying for the whole wedding," Paisley said. "That's something." "Yeah, and he's not completely horrible to look at," Isabella added. "But what's the long-term plan here?" Kelsey's voice got lower, but I could still hear every word. "He's just a stepping stone, honestly. Once the wedding's paid for and everything's done, I'll give it a year, max. My cousin's a divorce lawyer, she says I could probably get decent alimony since he owns his own business." More giggling. I felt sick to my stomach. "You're so bad," Paisley squealed, "but smart bad. Did you see his face when you picked that $6,000 dress?" "Oh my God, yes," Isabella chimed in. "He looked like he was going to pass out, but he still said yes because he's desperate to keep me," Kelsey said. I could hear the eye roll in her voice. The other day, he actually suggested we do a food truck catering station at the reception. Can you imagine? I shut that down real quick, told him my dad would be embarrassed. The worst part? Her dad's a mechanic. We've had beers together. He loves my food truck. But Kelsey wasn't done. 2 more months of playing the perfect bride, then a year of playing house, and I'm out. Maybe I'll meet someone at the country club where we're having the reception. Those membership fees must mean something, right? I stood there for what felt like hours, just listening to them tear apart every aspect of my life, my business, which puts me comfortably in the mid-5 figures, my apartment, which I bought with my own money, even the damn engagement ring I spent months saving for. "The ring's decent, though," Paisley said. "You could probably sell it after." "Nah, I'll keep it," Kelsey replied. "Trophy of my starter marriage." They all burst out laughing again. I don't know how I managed to keep my cool. I grabbed the beers, walked back outside, and kept grilling like nothing had happened. Kelsey came over, wrapped her arms around me from behind, something she always does when she wants me to spend money on something, and asked if we could look at videographers. The expensive one she wanted had a cancellation. "Whatever you want, babe," I said and kissed her cheek. She beamed at me, probably thinking she had me wrapped around her finger. If she noticed my hands shaking slightly as I flipped the burgers, she didn't show it. The rest of the party was surreal. I watched her perform, because that's what it was, a performance. The way she'd touch my arm when telling people about our plans, how she'd gush about the food truck business to my friends while shooting knowing looks at Paisley and Isabella. 3 years of memories started rewriting themselves in my head. Here's the thing, I'm not some pushover who's going to cry about this for months. I've spent my life building things from nothing. I started my business with a used truck and my grandmother's recipes, learned every lesson the hard way, and now I'm going to teach Kelsey a lesson about underestimating people. I've already started documenting everything, the full wedding expenses, all coming from my personal savings, the text messages where she tells her friends about her plans, the venue contract in my name, everything. The wedding's in 2 months. The deposits are mostly refundable up to 30 days before. I've got some ideas about how this is going to play out, but I need to be smart about this. Strategic. She wants to play games? Fine. I'll play. But she's about to learn that this stepping stone is actually going to be the rock that sinks her whole plan. I'll update when I can. Right now, I need to go look at videographer portfolios with my loving fiancé. Update. Hey Reddit, it's been 2 weeks since my last post, and things have escalated quickly. Thank you for all the support and advice. I've been carefully documenting everything while pretending everything's normal. And holy, you wouldn't believe what I've discovered. Last night was the breaking point. I was sitting in our kitchen when Kelsey started FaceTiming with Paisley, completely forgetting I was there because she had her AirPods in. The conversation I overheard made my blood boil. "God, Daniel is so clueless," Kelsey laughed. "He just transferred another $8,800 for the catering deposit. Can you believe this idiot actually sold his project car to pay for my dream wedding?" I kept quiet, recording everything on my phone. Then she dropped this bomb: "Once this is done, I'll have the perfect Instagram wedding to launch my influencer career. Who needs a mechanic husband when you can leverage a fancy wedding into something better?" Barry from marketing has already been DMing me about potential opportunities. My hands were shaking, but I maintained my composure. This wasn't just about the money anymore. She was already lining up her next target while spending my savings. The next morning, I started executing my plan. First, I went to our venue and had a heart-to-heart with the manager, Sarah. I showed her the texts and recordings. She was disgusted and agreed to help me. We're keeping the venue booked, but she's holding the deposit in escrow. If Kelsey tries to take over the booking after I leave her at the altar, she's in for a surprise. Then, something interesting happened. Kelsey's sister, Delilah, reached out to me privately. It turns out she had suspected something was off about her sister for a while. She showed me screenshots of Kelsey's private Instagram story, where she had been posting hints about upgrading her life and using what you've got to get what you want, real classy stuff. Daniel, I love my sister, but what she's doing is wrong, Delilah told me over coffee. She's been like this since high school, using people and discarding them. I'll back you up when everything goes down. The hardest part is acting normal. Yesterday, Kelsey threw a fit because I suggested scaling back the flower budget. She screamed about how I was ruining her special day and stormed out to stay with Paisley. The old me would have apologized and given in. Instead, I used the time alone to make some moves. I contacted all the vendors and explained the situation. Most were surprisingly understanding. I got agreements in writing to refund deposits, moved my savings to a new bank account she doesn't know about, and found all the receipts for wedding expenses, almost $23,000 so far. Then I discovered something shocking. She's been secretly filming wedding planning content for a future YouTube channel called Kelsey's Luxury Life while telling me she wants a private, intimate ceremony. The real kicker? I found her diary. Yes, she still keeps one, hidden in her desk drawer. While looking for insurance papers, I stumbled upon it and read what she had written about me. Daniel's so pathetically in love with me, he'll never see it coming. And his stupid car collection had to go anyway. Who wants to be married to a guy who spends weekends working on cars? She came home this morning acting like nothing had happened, talking about cake tastings and tablecloth colors. I smiled and nodded, knowing that in 6 weeks, she'll learn what it feels like to lose everything she's invested in. Some developments I didn't expect. Her friend Isabella reached out to warn me. Too late, honey. Apparently, Kelsey has a history of doing this. My sister caught Kelsey flirting with Barry at the grocery store. Kelsey's been telling people I'm controlling because I wanted to see the vendor contracts. She's already bought a backup dress, with my credit card, which I'm disputing. I've got everything documented, photos, videos, screenshots, receipts. As far as she knows, the wedding is still on track. But I've got something special planned for the big day. No violence, no crazy scenes, just pure, calculated comeuppance. The best part? She's been pushing to add more expensive touches because it's just a few thousand more. Little does she know, those contracts are in her name now. When I don't show up, she's on the hook for every penny. I've stopped wearing my engagement ring when she's not around. It's a small thing, but it helps remind me that I'm almost free. 6 more weeks of playing the eager groom, then she'll learn what happens when you mistake kindness for weakness. Thanks for letting me vent, Reddit. The next update will probably be after the wedding. Wish me luck, I'm going to need it to keep my cool until then. Update 2, this morning was surreal.